Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We got another year of the championship series here at Junior All-Star. I got with me the 2022 Class A state champion, the Hancock Owls. Welcome, ladies. We will have you start with introducing yourself. We'll start with Karleigh, and then we'll do popcorn style. You call out who's next after you.
I'm Karleigh Rohloff. I'm a freshman. Karleigh.
I'm Karleigh Hanson and I'm a senior. Kaitlyn Staples.
I'm Kaitlyn Staples and I'm a sophomore. Misti.
I'm Misti Zempel and I'm a sophomore. Rylee.
I'm Rylee Hanson and I'm a senior. Tori.
I'm Tori Pahl and I'm also a senior. Brooke.
I'm Brooke and I'm a freshman. Kaitlyn, sorry.
I'm Kaitlyn Rohloff and I'm a freshman.
Thank you, thank you. So it's been a little bit since you guys won. Anyone want to, this goes out to anyone. What's it feel like to be state champions? Describe that feeling a little bit. Rylee.
I think it's still hasn't quite hit me yet. Yeah, it was like our last game and stuff like that, but it hasn't hit me. Like normally you end your season on like a loss and stuff like that, and so it's completely different. Like we didn't go out that way this year, so it doesn't feel like our season's done. Like it just feels like we're honestly taking like Christmas break or something like that for like 2 weeks.
So I said, what we'll do is we'll go back, we'll start a little bit at the beginning of the season. I guess we'll start, I want to ask kind of, Kaitlyn, we'll ask you, Kaitlyn Staples. There's a lot of double names on here. I got to remember that. Kaitlyn Staples. We'll ask you, at the beginning of the year, when the preseason started and practice started, did you guys know right off the bat this was going to be a special year? Or did it kind of see we had the pieces, but we didn't know how it was going to turn out? Or kind of what was that first few practices like for you guys?
Yeah, it was definitely, well, from the summer, and like we played in breakdown tournaments and we would keep like winning. And then practice started and I think we all knew that we had a chance at least to go to state. Our goal is to go to state, but I don't think any of us really knew we'd win state. Like just it's like practice right away was everyone was hype and excited.
We'll ask the other Kaitlyn now. As a younger member on the team, describe in those first practices, the preseason leading up, how are the veteran players, how did they kind of bring you younger ones along and kind of set the standard of what the season was going to be like?
Yeah, so like we do have a lot of young people on our team, and a lot of us like freshmen, like me, Carlee, and all of us freshmen, and even Kaitlyn and Misti didn't have a lot of experience on like the varsity. So the seniors obviously had a lot of experience. So just like going into practices, they'd always just like not like tell us what to do, but like, like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you're just really yeah, to like get us into the experience of playing varsity. So yeah.
Tori, we'll ask you. For you, was there a game this season where when you guys won or how well you guys played that after that game, you kind of maybe had the thought like, okay, this could be something special. That was when we play at that level, we can't be stopped. Or was it kind of just get better and better as the season goes?
I think overall we got better and better as the season progressed. I wouldn't say that there was one specific game that stood out to me. I mean, last year our season did end with a loss to West Central. And I think once we beat them the first time, that kind of got us over a little hesitation that we might have had, but I think we built up as the season went along.
We'll ask Karleigh Hanson, is there a team or a game that's on the schedule that you maybe personally or the team, was it West Central that you got up for, kind of a rivalry game, kind of a, the exciting game, or next game was the most important one, it didn't matter who you're playing?
Yeah, so we went in the season we had a stretch where it was all tough games. So we had West Central, we had Wheaton, we had Underwood all in a row, and they were all top teams in our section. So we really had to practice a lot and put in the extra work to be able to come through and win those games. So I think that loss, the second time that we played West Central, was a learning curve. I think we needed that to know what it felt like and to know that the little things are big in big games like the state tournament. So I think we learned from that game, and I think it was good for us. You know, we didn't want it, but I think it definitely helped us.
Younger Carleigh, we'll ask you. You make it to state. What's that feeling like from a younger aspect? Is it kind of eyes open wide? Is it, did everyone kind of just kind of get through nerves? Was there nerves, just excitement? How'd that feel?
It was like really cool to feel. I feel like all of us were all like new to that big like atmosphere at like state, so obviously we were all like really nervous. I think even like the seniors too, and like the younger like girls, like we're all like at this new place playing in front of a huge crowd. It was like really big crowd. So like I think we're all pretty nervous, but I think we all kind of like came together and we're like kind of like calmed down a little bit, and like, we got this kind of.
And then we'll start with Brooke, and I'll ask each player, which court was more enjoyable to play on, Williams Arena or the Pavilion? We'll start with Brooke.
Williams Arena, definitely.
Younger Kaitlyn.
I think Williams Arena too, just because like, both college basketball teams play there and stuff. So that was really cool.
Tori.
It was definitely Williams Arena.
Kaitlyn Staples.
Williams Arena.
Misti.
Williams Arena for sure.
Rylee.
Williams Arena.
Younger Carleigh.
Williams Arena. It was nice to see like everyone there, the whole town of Hancock. It was cool.
Veteran Carleigh.
I thought they were both a lot of fun, but it was definitely Williams Arena with like the raised floor. It just adds something to it, and I don't know, yeah, like what Kaitlyn Rohloff said, just to know that that's where Minnesota Gophers play. It just added something extra to it, and that was actually their basketball court.
Did anyone have any nerves of falling off the raised floor? Was there anyone nervous that they were going to go flying off the court? That's always, I feel like, something that people that are not used to the court, they might be a little nervous about.
I thought I was gonna be the one to go off for sure.
I did too. I thought Misti would be the first person to fall.
I was a little nervous coming up the stairs. I was like, oh no.
Those stairs are steep, like down to the locker rooms, like, running, you're trying to get a good, I'd fall. I'll take an elevator to the floor. I'm good. And so we get to state. The 3 seed, the seeding was a pretty hot topic for the Minnesota State tournament this year, I feel like. The 1 seed's knocked out in the first round, and you guys were on the opposite side of that bracket. For you guys, not looking too far ahead, but when you saw the 1 seed knocked out, did you kind of say, us and Mayor Lutheran, it's kind of now us to kind of take that over, or we're focusing on what we have, we don't worry about that bracket till we get to that side of the bracket? Rylee?
Yeah, so we actually had like a little watch party to watch that Mountain Iron Buell game, because it was kind of like expected that if we made it that far and they made it that far, that could be a possible matchup in like a championship game. And so that was kind of like okay, we got to watch this game. And then we were all jumping and screaming and just like getting into the game when it happened. And so, but I think after they lost, I think we just focused one game at a time. And that's how we took it the whole way. Each game, even throughout the regular season, that's one game at a time. And that's always been how it is for us.
So we'll go to Tori. You get past that first round and you're at Mayor Lutheran, and I've heard some people say the hardest game isn't the state championship game, it's the game to get to state. It's the state championship game, that semifinal, because you're right there and you still got to win. You don't want to look forward to the title game. Is that true, or did you guys was it just kind of we have to get past Mayor Lutheran and that to get to what our goal is?
We all had the same goal, which was to get to state and to win state. But I think, like Rylee said, we just took it every game at a time, and we realized that we would have to get past Mayor Lutheran. So we did take it one game at a time, because we knew that if we looked ahead to the state championship game, we probably wouldn't have won the game against Mayor Lutheran.
So then we'll go to Kaitlyn R, where we'll ask you, you get to the state title game. Now, did the coaches or the players, did they say anything about, when you're playing Minnesota, it's a traditional, kind of powerhouse team. It's the team that's won the state title. In fact, they had won the last two of the tournaments that had occurred with 2020 being canceled. Did that, was there any discussion about that, or was it just we focus on us, we worry about us, we control the controllables, they do what they do, we'll, let's see where the chips fall.
Yeah, I think that in general, Minnesota obviously has had way more experience than us, and I think all of us players knew that, and all of us coaches coming out, our coach compared Minnesota and us to the Goliath and David, so it was really cool, and I think that we all knew that they had a lot more experience, and that we just needed to play our game, and if we would do that, then we'd come out on top. So
now it's time to hype up your teammates a little bit. We'll ask Kaitlyn Staples. When Karleigh Hanson gets going, she can get rolling, and then she's hitting threes. We're doing crossovers. She has the defense all kinds of confused. What's it like when you're out on the court when she's hot like that, and you're just feeding the hot hand and just kind of watching her go to work?
It's awesome. I just love watching her, especially when she is knocking down threes left and right, and it's just back to back to back to back. Like that first game, she knocked down 5 or 6 threes, something like that. That was crazy. I was like, get her the ball. She's knocking them down.
So Karleigh Hanson, I have a question for you. When you were out there watching you at Williams Arena, and they had the different lines, the yellow was the high school, and then you had the college one. When you're out there, and this goes maybe for all the players, can you notice them where the lines are? Or because you were behind the college one mostly, and I'm like, she's just shooting and still hitting them. I don't think she cares what line she's behind right now.
Yeah, I think you definitely notice it. Maybe not right away, your first shot. Maybe you don't realize it after your first shot. You realize it because you're like, oh, I had to use more power to get that there. But once you're in the game, your focus is just to score. So I don't really think, for me at least, I didn't really focus. It was just another shot. And it also helped that we practiced at Northwestern, so we had those lines to practice with. So I mean, we had a little bit more experience rather than just shooting them at home.
And then we will ask Misti. I always say I'm impressed as when younger players come to state and they just thrive and they don't seem to have any fear. You have a pair of sisters, or twins, I should say, on this team. Or sisters, sorry. Twins, right? Okay. I'm thinking I thought I had it right. The twins, they came there and they looked fearless. If you two were nervous, I didn't see it. Misti, what's that like to witness just that fearlessness from those two? They're, rising to the occasion. They're on a huge stage and it doesn't faze them once.
I don't know. I guess, I don't know. We went to nationals this summer, so we kind of had that little this is a big game kind of thing. But normally for big games, they're always just focused and ready to go. I've never actually seen them nervous, and it's just crazy to watch them just not be nervous ever. So I don't know.
So we'll ask the twins. Either one of you can answer this. Was there any nerves there? Because we couldn't see it from the stands, and your teammates saying there's no nerves. Was there ever a moment in the game where there was nerves going on, or was it just next play, keep going?
I think in the championship game, there was probably the most amount of nerves, either that game or the very first game, because the very first game was very first game of state, your first time stepping out on a big floor, big stage, you don't know what to expect. But the second game, we kind of got our feet under us and we were like, okay, we got this. We didn't have our heads high, but we were also confident in ourselves so that we could do this. But then when we ended up down in the Minnesota game, I think some of our nerves were a little bit higher, but then like I said, we can trust each other well enough to get ourselves back into the game, into tight situations and get ourselves out of them.
And Brooke, from your guys' perspective, in the huddles and stuff, because I always said you guys got really good looks in that first half against Minnesota. Like these were, open looks, shots that are rattling out and stuff. What was being said in the huddle by both the coaches and the other players, kind of just keep shooting, they're gonna fall. Everyone plays the averages. Eventually they're gonna fall. How was that kind of the motto going into the huddles and whatnot in that first half?
Yeah, it was kind of just like keep shooting, like they'll fall or whatever. And then we kind of just like he kept like saying like trust each other, and then like yeah, basically just keep shooting.
And then Kaitlyn Staples, how good did it feel when you came out in your first four and the team's first four shots with 3-pointers and hey, they started to fall?
That was good. We needed that, especially when we were down right away in that game. We just needed to come out and play our game.
It was interesting sitting in the media section during that game. People around us, they said, uh-oh, they said Minnesota's in trouble. Because you could just see your guys' eyes get wider and wider and bigger, and the shots were going a little more smooth. We're like, now they're in trouble. Younger Carleigh, we'll ask you, was there ever a moment in the game where you had I'm in a state championship game where you're looking around and it's during a free throw or kind of a play and you're like, had a moment where I'm in a state championship game moment?
I think that like during the timeouts and stuff, when you can like hear everyone start cheering or like doing a chant or something, you just look up and see actually like how many people are actually there. And it's just kind of like gives you like chills, I feel like, because like all these people are here for you and like we couldn't have done that without them, of course. And it's just cool to see everyone come together and cheer you on.
And so we'll give credit. They didn't want to be on the video, but we'll talk about them a little bit. Let's give some credit to the coaches. What's it, this is open forum to anyone. Describe Coach Tony, describe him to me. What is he like as a coach on the, during the game, after the games, kind of what's his vibe as a coach?
On and off the court, he's a very humble guy, and he coaches us every day to get better, I think, and he always like pushes us and like knows that we can keep on getting better and stuff like that.
Does he have any coachisms, any go-to sayings, anything that he, kind of his motto that he keeps that, over and over again that you guys have heard probably 8,000 times throughout a season?
One thing that he says all the time, like right before game, is 13 for 36, which is we have 13 girls on our varsity team for 36 minutes. And so each year that we've been playing since 8th grade, since he's been our coach, it's always been the amount of girls that are on our team for 36 minutes. So that's something that he always says. And then family was our like motto. So we always say family instead of, we say owls, but it's more family than owls more often. So he refers to that, how like we're not just a group of girls playing together, we're a family, we're doing it together, working together.
And so Tori, we'll ask you this. When was the moment in the state championship game that you guys as a team, maybe you as an individual, you knew we had this? It was ours. It wasn't getting taken from us. It was ours. When was that at the final buzzer? Was there moments in between before when you guys started feeling like this is ours?
Honestly, I think it was like right after the huddle at halftime, because you could tell that they wanted this and they weren't going to get this far to quit and give up on it. So then when they went back out on the floor, they honestly gave it their all.
And then we'll get to know you guys a little better. So you guys won the championship. So I want to get to know the players we want to get to know the people behind the players, I guess I should say. So talking to you as basketball players, this goes to each one of you. Who's someone that you watch as a basketball player that you model your game after, you enjoy watching? It can be male, female, college, pro, high school, anything of that. We'll start with Carleigh R.
I would have to say I like watching Paige Beckers a lot at UConn and obviously at Hopkins earlier. I think she's a great role model to look up to, keeping God above everything and just playing for him and everything else. Yep.
You're pretty excited that she's in town right now?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Carleigh Hanson.
So I'm a big Golden State Warriors fan, so I'm a Curry fan. I always
Shocked by the shot selection. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
How about Rylee Hanson?
I don't really have, I just watch like a lot of college and NBA basketball and WNBA, but like Maya Moore was always like someone I watched like as a kid before she stopped playing. So maybe her. Or like Karleigh Rohloff said, Paige Beckers is also another good one.
Misti.
Probably Paige Beckers, just because what Karleigh said, but
Kaitlyn Staples.
I like Lindsay Whalen. She was a point guard and she's from Hutchinson and then she played in Minnesota. I loved going to their games and just watching her.
Tori.
My favorite was probably Luka Garza when he played at Iowa. Yeah, I like that team and I like UNC too, so they're fun to watch.
Kaitlyn R.
Like both of the Karleigh said, a lot of college. I like a lot of college basketball. I like to watch a lot of that, and like obviously like Paige Beckers and Haley Van Lith and Kobe Bryant too. I like really like his mindset and his mentality. I think that basketball has it's a really big mental thing too. So him for sure.
So are we gonna see the Haley Van Lith pigtails next year?
Oh yeah, I might rock that up. No, I'm kidding.
How about you, Brooke?
I like watching college basketball also. I really enjoyed watching Lindsay Whalen and Paige Beckers, obviously.
So now that we like watching college, does anyone have any strong opinions who's gonna win this weekend in Minneapolis? Who's walking out with the title of the 4 teams?
Oh, we got UConn for sure. UConn all the way.
UConn.
Man, South Carolina, Stanford, and them, they're just getting thrown to the curb. Who are they going to be playing? I guess I should say. Who's going to face UConn in the championship? South Carolina or Stanford? Or South Carolina or Louisville, I should say.
It'll be South Carolina.
No,
Louisville.
I'm like Haley Van Lith is somewhere in this conversation somewhere here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we'll end it with we'll have you go around and one more thing. What is one word to describe the 2001-2022 Hancock girls basketball team? We'll start with Carlee Hanson.
Like the season or the team?
Just to describe your team. One word to describe your team this year.
Family.
Carlee R.
I would have to say, I don't even know. I'd say grateful. I think we're all grateful for this experience we had.
Kaitlyn Staples.
Trustworthy. I think we all trust each other on the court and off the court.
Misti.
incredible or hype. I don't know. One of those.
Rylee.
I'm gonna have to go with like amazing. Like we pulled off something that hasn't been done in a long time. So
Brooke.
Blessed probably. I think we're all very blessed that this happened to us. And yeah.
Kaitlyn R.
Well, everyone's stealing all the good words, but I think that passionate's a really big one. I think that we've all been working for this moment for a long time, and to see it finally come true is really cool. So passionate, I'd say.
And Tori.
I would say just the perseverance that we had throughout the season. I mean, we had to overcome some big obstacles.
I'll add one in there for you. Champion. So last question to end it. When the twins go one-on-one, who wins? No, I'm kidding. I won't make you guys answer that.
definitely me.
I was waiting. I'm like, when the twins win, who's winning here? But I want to say thank you, ladies, for doing this. Congratulations on winning a champion. The audience is going to know you. Junior All-Star audience is going to know you more. I'm hoping that we're going to be back next year, right? We have some younger people that are going to be bringing us back next year for back-to-back, right? Sounds good. Once again, thank you for doing this. Congratulations on a fantastic season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You.